Do you know that 70 to 90% of the startups fail within first 2 to 3 years of initiation? Well, if you knew the points that could lead to your failure, definitely it will increase your chances of succeeding in any business. So today we are going to talk about a book, Before You Start Up, by Pankaj Goel. This book will give you the points that you should know before you start up. So what exactly will be the structure of the video? First, we are going to talk about who exactly is Pankaj Goel, the author. What have he written on in this book? How did he gain the authority to write this book? Why you should read this book? And finally, my point of view, the conclusion. Right? So let us start with who is the author Pankaj Goel. Well, Pankaj Goel is the creamiest of the cream from the Indian subcontinent. The IITN, IIM, then McKinsey. Right? He worked in McKinsey for 1 year, quit his job, came back to India. He founded his own startup. Right? He worked in his own startup, but unfortunately, the startup could not take off. So he quit his startup. He went back to US. Now, presently, he's working in the field of artificial intelligence and is an angel investor. Now, what have you written in this book? Well, this book is about the points that you should know if you are preparing for a startup or if you are in the early stage of startup, right? So which could help you avoid your failure. So the first chapter, it starts with, do you really should start up? Because there might be other ways to achieve your goal rather than starting up, because starting up is hard. It is not as easy as we think. It is not as easy as it seems from outside, right? That is why 90% of the businesses fail, right? So have you thought about all the possibilities? Do you think starting up is the best scenario for you to achieve your goals? It might not be so. The second chapter is understanding your why, right? This is from the book of uh, by Simon Sinek, right? How to generate business ideas, how to evaluate a business idea, choosing your co-founder, and so, right? So he have touched almost all the points that you should know before starting up. Now, how have he gained the authority to start to write this book? Well, he have interviewed many co-founders of different companies. He have read many books and drawn inferences from those books. He have read many articles on startups, right? And finally, he has validated each and everything, right, through his own journey in a startup, right? That was his own startup. And presently he is an angel investor. So definitely, yes, I will say, if you look at his background, definitely he is a capable person. He has the authority to actually write this book, right? So why you should read this book? I'll tell you my version, right? I found this book very interesting because, first of all, it was a very quick read. I read it in just 3 days. So yes, at the price tag that you get it, it touches all the points that you should know if you are planning to start up or if you are in your initial stage of startup, right? And it is an interesting read because he have included examples from many different companies, from the founders whom you have interviewed, right? So yes, that is why it becomes a very good read, right? There is also a downside. This book considers mainly internet based companies, right? It has not considered companies like manufacturing or hospitality or so and so, right? But the point is, I feel before starting up, I think the majority of the points are common to all startups. It is only after you start up, only after you start your business, the scenario changes for different sectors. So I feel it is still okay. The points are relevant for all the industries. So finally, the conclusion part, if this book does not share you anything extraordinary, right? If you have read, say, 4 or 5 books on different good authors on startups, then definitely this book, you can skip this book. But if you're planning to start up, or if you're in your initial journey, and if you have not read any book, then definitely you can consider reading this book, because you'll get in a very short period of time, you'll get a very good overview on starting up.